Good morning, everyone. As I say, the sooner we get done here, the sooner we can go into the coolers where it's warm and we'll be happy and it'll be great. I want to just thank you all for coming out and joining J&J Distributing and Jim here today. This is a great company. I had a chance to tour it a couple of years ago and see their just incredible work that they do, and now we take it to another phase through a lot of help, a lot of partnership, and a lot of great vision on the part of Jim and his entire company. Before we get started, I want to acknowledge all of our guests, some of whom you will be hearing from later on. We have, obviously, our senior senator, Senator Amy Klobuchar. You can actually clap. That would make the next one junior. Senator Al Franken. Our great supporter and great Congresswoman from the 4th District, Betty McCollum. We have Luke Gomes with the Department of Energy. Happy to have him here. To my left, we have council member from the 1st Ward, Melvin Carter. The president of the St. Paul Port Authority, an incredible partner for us, Louis Jamboy. And Jim Hannigan, president and CEO of J&J Distributing. So a couple of weeks ago, we launched and rebuilt St. Paul. And, I'm sorry, looking over here and I'm going, oh wait, no, that comes later. Oh, wait, here we go. We have one of our true champions up at the state legislature who's really just done an amazing job, really helping us rethink how we use energy and kind of think through how we're going to be a greener, more efficient state, Senator Ellen Anderson. We have Judy Pofferl from XL Energy. I think Laura McCartan and Greg Palmer are here. I also saw John Marshall, so I don't know that he's worthy of clapping for, but Pete Klein is also with us from the St. Paul Port Authority. We have Kathy Pulaski from the city of Minneapolis. Kathy, thanks for joining us. We have one of the great leaders of the city of St. Paul, who's been just an incredible director of our Department of Planning and Economic Development, Cecile Bador, is with us. And as all great directors know, they're only as good as their staff. And Cecile is blessed with Patty Lillidahl and Dave Gontarek, who just are doing an incredible job for us. So a couple of weeks ago, we launched Rebuild St. Paul. That was our effort to try to do a couple things. First of all, to really get some projects in the ground, get some of the guys that have been, and women that have been sitting on the bench for way too long back on the job sites. Some of our trades folks have been on the bench for many months. Some of the trades have 30 or 40 or 50% of their folks on the bench, and we knew we needed to do everything that we could to try to get things moving again. One of the things that was important was the partnerships that we had at the state level with the jobs bill, at the federal level with the Build America bonds, et cetera. But it was kind of looking at how we could put all of these resources together, make it happen, get some of these projects that had been stalled out for a while going, and move St. Paul forward while getting people back to work and helping great companies like J&J. So it was a wonderful opportunity that we had, and it's great to be here today at J&J Distributing. They have 150 new employees that will be a part of the project that we are announcing and launching here today that you'll hear a little bit more about. This is one of the things, not just the jobs, it's the energy savings. The company will save $174,000 plus a year, almost $175,000 a year in energy costs as a result of the innovation that we'll see here today. This is important again. It's not just the jobs that are building this project, but it's the long-term jobs that Jim, I think, hopefully we'll talk a little bit about in a second. If you don't, you got now some time to prepare your remarks. But it's just great to be here, and it's great to join all of you. Thank you for being out here on this lovely, lovely, lovely September day. And at this point, we'd like to hear from our senior senator, Senator Amy Klobuchar.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor. When you call, everyone comes. So here we go. It's so great to be here. It's so great to be here with my colleague, Senator Franken and Congresswoman McCollum, as well as our friend from the Department of Energy. I understand he's closing on a house in Colorado, but still came. That's pretty impressive. And all the great officials from St. Paul, as well as the business community, to celebrate what J&J is doing here. So thank you very much. I was looking down at this fruit and remembering when Secretary of Energy Chu talks about energy efficiency. He talks about that it's not just the low-hanging fruit, it is the fruit that's rolling around on the ground. And I thought how appropriate that quote is for today, because as we look at our future, our energy future for this country, we know so much of it is going to be focused on conservation and energy efficiency. And we've come a long way from when Jimmy Carter wore that sweater on TV and looked all glum and talked about conserving energy, to the point now where I go around the state, young people, everyone's very excited about this idea of saving money and finding new ways that you can bring energy efficiency to homes and to businesses. One of the things they found out is that people like to compete with their neighbors to how much energy they can save. And if they tell them how much their neighbors are saving, they find out that that's the best motivating force. So you'll have to look at implementing that in St. Paul. You know, thanks to the work of Ellen Anderson and others at the legislature, Minnesota has been ahead of the curve with renewable energy and energy efficiency, with our 25% standard by 2025. The federal government, through the Recovery Act and other energy bills that we passed over the last few years, have given a major focus to energy efficiency, and I think we even need to do more. I recently introduced a bill with Senator Tim Johnson called the SAFES Act, which is modeled on Minnesota's renewable energy standard, including a lot of biofuels provisions as well, because I really see this as our future. It's not just about saving money, which we know we're going to do here, but it's also about jobs. And from what I understand, J&J is going to create roughly 280 jobs, 280 jobs right here in the Twin Cities, 280 jobs that will be generated with an $8.5 million investment. So this is a very exciting day for St. Paul. I'm happy to be part of it and looking forward on this really warm day to have that watermelon. You know, that's just exactly what you want to have when things are cold. I was saying to Al, it's a little bit of a difference from last week at the fair where we were boiling, and now we're here and the butter carving sculptures were melting when the electricity went down. A little different weather for the day, and just a sign as we see cold weather ahead how important energy efficiency is to our energy future. Thank you, everyone, for having me.
Thank you, Senator. We have been blessed to have a new voice and an advocate for the state of Minnesota and the city of St. Paul in the Senate, and we'd like to hear from our junior senator, if you could, Senator Al Franken.
You know, you don't have to say junior senator. You can just say other senator or Senator Franken.
There's many titles.
Well, you're our junior Twin Cities mayor. One thing about being the junior senator is that the senior senator takes the low-hanging joke. Yeah, no, I don't. Actually, it's not written as a joke. It's just, which I was very miffed at. Anyway, thank you, Junior Mayor, and Senior Senator Amy, and Congresswoman Betty, Betty
just worked.
Energy guy, Melvin, council member, and you, XL guy, and Jim Hannigan, who is congratulations to all of you on making the $1 trillion BTU energy efficiency improvement project a reality. I can't tell you how inspiring the Trillion BTU project makes me. It's truly a public-private partnership, and I think that's great. It's great to see people working together. Sometimes you have to come back to Minnesota to see that, don't you, Amy? And J&J was able to leverage federal recovery dollars with other funds to finance energy savings improvements. When J&J finishes installing the new energy efficiency chillers, we're going to see immediate reduction in energy consumption and dramatically greater energy efficiency through waste heat recovery. This means reduced costs for the company, making it more competitive and allowing it to expand to create more valuable, good-paying jobs from right here in the neighborhood. And that's one thing I love that you do, Jim. I see this kind of as a model that we need for every business and industrial facility and residential building across Minnesota. It's time to invest in energy efficiency in every building in our state. Energy efficiency is truly, oh, here it is, the low-hanging fruit.
But it's the fruit that's rolling around on the ground.
I know, I heard your improvement on it, and was quite miffed at my staff. This is the problem with being the junior senator. Okay. But I look at this as a win-win-win-win, I think. It reduces costs for consumers and for businesses. It creates jobs, and it's good for the environment. That's a win-win-win-win, as I see it. So I'm extremely proud and happy to be here today. I'm looking forward to seeing J&J's state-of-the-art facility, and I can't wait to see other energy efficiency projects all across Minnesota. It's innovations like these that are going to improve our economy for our children and retool Minnesota and America for an energy efficient future. Again, congratulations to everyone involved, even Amy. Enough? And the junior mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Usually when I am on the platform with our next speaker, we are talking transportation because she's an incredible advocate for the regional transportation system, making sure that the East Metro is part of a system that would include a high-speed rail line to Chicago. But it is great to be here today because she's also all about jobs, 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 and energy efficiency. She's been a great representative for the city of St. Paul and for the 4th District, Congresswoman Betty McCollum.
Hi, I'm from the House of Representatives, and we heard from our senators we don't do the junior-senior thing. I represent the 4th District, St. Paul, and I'm so glad I have both of these senators as partners. They really have made a difference in standing up and not only fighting for improving things in this country, but making sure that we secure the dollars that our businesses deserve to do projects like this in the U.S. Senate. So I'm happy to be here with both senators, and I won't get into rank. You know, this is an example of the Recovery Act working. J&J Distributing, its employees and customers are going to benefit. Yes, customers are going to benefit, such as myself, from the energy efficiency and cost savings that we're going to hear more about later. And I want to thank our local leaders here today, my council member to the left of me and my mayor to the right of me here for being out there encouraging businesses working with the city of St. Paul to take advantage of these opportunities. So I'm just gonna, I'm a first-hour teacher. I used to teach social studies, and I'm looking out here, and you guys are really cold. And so I can do nothing to warm you up except to move this along quickly. But let me I just want to say that this is important, that we remain competitive. And this business is working hard to be competitive. And we're here as government entities and as people who built the buildings, the laborers that are here to say, we want you to succeed. We want you to be vibrant. We want you to be strong. And we're doing that in a federal partnership here with the clean energy jobs. And we're going to hear someone from the department in a second, but this is so critical, not only to improving air quality and fuel efficiency, it is so critical for the competitiveness of these countries. So as Chris pointed out, we're working really hard to improve transportation, but that's just one piece of the pie. Another key feature I'd like you to take away about what the Recovery Act is meaning for jobs here, energy efficiency, but the city of St. Paul received $6 million in COPS funding. That meant we kept 28 officers working and on the street. So I'm very pleased to talk about that. And St. Paul Public Housing received $11 million in the Recovery Act, and they improved windows for senior citizen high-rises all around here. There have been people working because of the Recovery Act, and the investments that we're making in businesses like J&J are just going to have dividends that are keep coming back to us. So I'm very, very happy to be here. And I want to just tell everybody that when it was really cold, and remember when we took the outdoor swimming classes, and I used to take them at Lorraine Park in South St. Paul and be cold. It would get cold like this sometimes. We'd be in the water and our teeth would be chattering, and the swimming instructor would say, just tell yourself I'm as warm as toast. Thank you for inviting me here today.
You want us to do that as kind of like a mantra here? We can all... As our previous speakers have referenced, this is really a great partnership between a lot of entities, but not the least of which is the federal government, and the Department of Energy is a key piece of that. We're honored here, Department of Energy. We are here today with Luke Gomez, as was mentioned. He's actually here with waiting on a house clothing. I'm so cold I can't even speak. House closing. My teeth are chattering here. I should have brought those electric socks. But so hopefully we'll get you out of here in time to close on your house, Luke. Luke Gomes from the Department of Energy.
Thank you all for having me. I feel a little underwhelmed. I didn't have a team to write anything about fruit today, either low or high. But
I didn't have anything about fruit. I improvised.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. I see a lot of fruit out there. There's still probably something to say. I am very pleased to be here today. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Congresswoman, and thank you, Senators, for saying some of those important words today. St. Paul is one of the many grants in my portfolio. I work specifically with the Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant Program for the federal government. And this was one of the first opportunities that we were able to grant money to cities and counties and work directly with a lot of people that had really good ideas. And I found that St. Paul has been extremely competent in this area. One of my primary jobs is actually to make sure that my entities, that my grantees are being good stewards of the federal money. And what that means is that they're architecting good quality programs with real energy savings. They're leveraging those funds to the greatest extent possible. And I think that is well orchestrated here. I think Xcel Energy and all the private partnerships that come into play with the federal money really show just what kind of quality people you have working for you in the city. So I wish you the best of luck in your expansion, in your energy retrofits, and in your future business to come. I think it'll be very successful.
Thanks, Luke. Thank you for being here with us today. I mentioned a lot about partnerships. Obviously, one of our critical partners is our friends in labor. We have Harry Melander from the building and construction trades. Harry. We've also been fortunate to have a great nonprofit partner. Sheldon Strom and Ken Campbell are with us from the Center for Energy and the Environment. Thank you. It also helps to have council members that get the importance of all of this, both for the energy savings and the efficiency, but also for the jobs and the important impact that it has on the neighborhood that he or she represents. We're very fortunate in the First Ward to have a great council person, a rising star, Melvin Carter.
Good morning. Thank you very much. My name is Melvin Carter, and I represent Ward 1 on the St. Paul City Council. I tell you, Al, don't worry. I'm constantly reminded that I'm the junior city councilman. This project is a perfect example of how federal, city, elected officials, as well as businesses, large businesses like Xcel Energy, and local businesses like J&J Distributing can work together to create real solutions to real problems that people face on a neighborhood level. We obviously need jobs in St. Paul. Better yet, we need good jobs from responsible employers who will pay a decent wage, maybe offer some benefits, and hire people who live in the neighborhood, hire people who live in St. Paul. I know I speak on behalf of our mayor and our entire city council to say that we couldn't be more thrilled to work with a company like J&J Distributing, who has a track record of doing all of these things, to add 150 new jobs to continue doing all of these things. So this is an exciting day for us. As Al said, a win-win-win-win scenario. Is that right? 4 wins.
Exactly right.
4 wins. I counted 4 wins when he was talking. A win-win-win-win scenario to create good jobs in our community, to create some cost savings for the businesses and the cost savings for consumers, and to at the same time do something that's responsible and good for the environment. There's oftentimes we hear that the environment and the economy are conflicting interests, but that's not true. We're proving that today. We're going to continue to prove that, and we're going to keep doing that. So I'll get out of the way, but thanks for being here. And my big surprise of the morning is that this low-hanging fruit, this is not that plastic fruit that, you know, people use, the fake fruit. This is the real fruit, and if I'm correct, we get to eat this fruit before the day is over, right? Let's have a round of applause for the fruit.
A truly funny person would come up with a joke for the vegetables that are also in front of us, but I can't come up with one, so that's about it.
The high-growing vegetable.
The high growing. The one thing I know.
Might be too corny.
You just go. Just go. You're out. She's been kicked off our island. Sorry, that was just wrong.
Let us continue.
God, what did I start here? Well, this is even more appropriate because what I was going to say is any business person worth their salt, when they're sitting here, are really, all they're thinking is, could I please get back to work? So I am sure that is particularly true for Jim right here. In 1978, Jim and Deborah Hannigan launched J&J. They started off with 300 square feet. They started off with 4 employees. Since then, the company has continued to grow, and in the process, it's become a local leader in innovation, and has become a leader in sustainability. We are so pleased to be here to help launch this next phase of this incredible company. Jim, if you could join us, please. Thank you.
Thank you. In the produce industry, this is actually warm, so I prepared a long speech. Wait till you get inside. Actually, I just wanted to thank the City of St. Paul, the St. Paul Port Authority, and Xcel Energy for this wonderful opportunity. We came to this community in 1997, and in 2006, we purchased this property. During that period of time, we actually added about 200 people to our workforce. Now we're on a new project, one that will reduce our carbon footprint and will bring us to the next level of our new business model. This is all about the community. This isn't about, it's about job creation. It's about making a difference. And that's who J&J Distributing is and who will continue to be. And we're honored to have everybody here today. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy schedules, and I know it's Labor Day weekend, So I hope you have a great time. Thanks.
Do you remember in, what was it, the 88 convention in the Democrat convention, and there was a young governor from Arkansas who kept on speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking, and then finally, then Governor Clinton said, in conclusion, and it was the only applause line that he had of the whole. So our final speaker. It takes great thinkers, it takes great leaders, it takes people that understand the partnership between the public and the private sector. Great environmentalists like Ann Hunt, my environmental policy director over here, who does such a great job. And, but really, all of these folks coming together to say, how can we do things differently? How can we help businesses help themselves? And a person who has done an incredible job on that is our director of the St. Paul Port Authority. I know him as Louis Bois. Others know him as Louis Jamboy, or in various kind of incarnations of that. But our great leader of the St. Paul Port Authority, Louis.
I'm frequently called all kinds of things. Thank you, Mayor. I do stand before you as the last speaker of the day, and that is, if that's not cause for applause, I don't know what is. I don't care how cold it is. For those of you who have been following the papers this week, standing here doing an event like this is just much more fun than being sued. And after that, it's all uphill. But I'm really pleased to be here today. J&J Distributing is a fabulous company. It's obviously a food processing firm, but it's also an intersection. J&J Distributing is the place where federal energy policy, federal stimulus dollars, state energy policy, XL priorities and funding, the mayor's Rebuild St. Paul initiative, the Port Authority's Trillion BTU business assistance program, and Jim Hannigan's vision for growing a great business in St. Paul all intersect. We are at a great intersection. Folks that believe that the public sector and private sector can't work together to make wonderful things happen need to study this model. This is an absolute model for how to get things done, and I'm real proud to be part of it. The Port Authority is a partner because we exist to create jobs, to create tax base, and to further stimulate the economy in a sustainable way. Our Trillion BTU program hits all three of those pieces. We've made 8 loans to date, over $2.5 million. We are estimating at this point we are saving 29 billion BTUs on our way to a true trillion BTU goal. That's a big deal. That's a lot of fossil fuels that aren't going into the air. And our important partners at the federal, state, city, XL, nonprofit, and for-profit sectors all intersected to make that happen. Of course, intersections work when all the moving parts work together in concert. Otherwise, of course, intersections are chaos. But this intersection has been fabulous, and it's because of a variety of people, including, of course, the ones who are here, but many who have been mentioned already. Greg Palmer of Excel, Jeremy DeFeber of the Department of Commerce, Sheldon Strom and Ken Campbell of the Center for Energy and the Environment, Ann Hunt, who's done a fabulous job, Cecile Bedore and her merry band at PED, and Pete Klein at the Port Authority. The thing I really love about economic development is that it's about getting things done. And we've got, we're in a region of 3 million people in a state of 5 million people. Things can get lost, people can get lost, but the people who know how to get things done manage to find each other, and they're all here today getting things done, and I couldn't be prouder to be part of this. So thank you very, very much for having me here today.
And with that, we're going to forego the ceremonial ribbon cutting and go to a ceremonial fruit cutting in a true spirit of looking for the bright side. At least there are no flies on our watermelon. So, why don't we all go down, and congratulations. Thank you all for being here, and let's eat fruit.